Thomas Partey. I say it again, Thomas Partey is back in full Arsenal training, and this is the best news that Arsenal fans will ever get. My second video of today was all about alerting you that Arsenal has gone ahead to obviously zero down to their number one target they want, and it's a versatile defender, confirmed us by Mikel, right? Now, on top of that, it looks like it's a very good day that two stories have gone ahead to arise on the same day, and now Thomas Partey is back into the first training team or group team training sessions for the club of Arsenal. Welcome to the Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I go by the names of Rokani David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. This comes in through at a moment when Ghana has been knocked out of the African Cup of Nations and Thomas Partey is back. So Ghanaians have gone very bitter to Arsenal and Thomas Partey that he is the reason as to why they're out of the African Cup of Nations, and he has not gone ahead to show his patriotism for the national team. That is it. But I'll take you back to what the manager of Ghana went ahead and said. That is Chris, I think, Houghton, who once coached Newcastle and was sacked like 2 days back by the Ghanaian Football Federation. He said they went ahead and really talked to the manager of Arsenal. They talked to the player, and there was no need to rush the player. Now, even if Thomas Partey was with the Ghanaian national team, he wouldn't have gone ahead to play again because he is expected to return into action on the weekend. So it would have gone ahead to make some good sense, right? It would have gone ahead to make some public sense if at all he went ahead and obviously got himself into a position of seeing Ghana to the round of 16. But Ghana didn't make it to the round of 16 and they only had 2 points. So Ghanaians are very bitter at Arsenal and at Thomas Partey, but I really understand that they are paying. But you know, we always try to find excuses every time we lose, but that is the mentality of failures. But the mentality of people who progress, they call that experience. There is no longer failure in life. It's all about experience. And Ghanaians will just get to know that it's an experience that we no longer need a team depending on one player. That is Thomas Partey. You get? So they need to build a team that has very many players. Like you're gonna hate to see teams like Senegal, Morocco, you know, they are not reliant on one player. It's a team. Look at the teams like Cape Verde, Mauritania. So that's what Ghana should do, and Ghanaian fans, I think that's what you should do. But for Arsenal fans all over the world, they're excited for the return of Thomas Partey. And for those that were really having a scenario that Thomas Partey would have gone ahead to be in that midfield of Arsenal and they would have gone ahead not to lose certain games, I tell you that is a myth. That is a myth. Thomas Partey is a very good player, but don't you think that Arsenal is going to hate to lose some games, big games, when they're having Thomas Partey in? So, and Arteta has already gone ahead to make his mind that his CDM is Declan Rice. And Thomas Partey was played as a right back in the games that he started the season, and he got injured. That is it. So, let's start it off with an article coming in through from the website of Arsenal as far as the return of Thomas Partey is really concerned. Now, they've told us today that Thomas Partey has returned to first team training ahead of Arsenal's trip to Nottingham Forest on Tuesday. Thomas Partey has been working on recovering from an ongoing muscle issue that had seen him out of action since early October. So, since early October, Thomas Partey has not gone ahead to kick a ball for the side of Arsenal. We all know that. And it has been really bad for the side of Arsenal because I think you'd rather have him around other than not him being available. And this is the biggest positive of having Thomas Partey fit and Declan Rice fit and Jorginho. Competition. For any person who knows what competition is all about and the results of competition, they help your team get the best out of a player. And when you look at a player like Thomas Partey, all you'll ever want is to see him available, because even if he comes in through and plays some 20 minutes, then it can help the side of Arsenal. You saw to it that when they're playing against Manchester City, the goal they scored at Emirates through Martinelli, it was a long ball that was directed to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu went ahead to obviously get that ball. I think it was a long ball headed to Tomiyasu. Tomiyasu headed it to Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz controlled it and then set it in the vicinity of Martinelli. Martinelli went with an instant hit, and it deflected off Nathan Ake into the back of it to make it 1-0. So his contribution since then has been lacking. And that's the importance, that when you get him and obviously play him as a CDM, and you get Declan Rice into the number 8 role, you'll have a lot to offer in the final third of the pitch. And I really understand why Arsenal have gone ahead to take long to see if this guy really recovers, because they never wanted to hurry him. They never wanted to hurry him back because they see a lot of money in him. Trust me, if Thomas Partey can keep himself fit and play the rest of the games, especially in the Premier League and the Champions League for Arsenal, Arsenal can get like £30 million from his sale this summer. And I don't know why Arsenal wouldn't be selling Thomas Partey. So we wait and see how that pans out, but it's really gonna be important, especially in the games they're going to play in the Champions League. You'll need the Thomas Partey somehow, somewhere, to really take your team to where you want it to be. But it looks like he has fallen out of the first choice positions, that the manager thinks of playing him. And I think, again, we might see a situation where Gabriel Magalhaes is going to be dropped and Ben White is going to be played in the central defense with William Saliba, and Thomas Partey will go to the right back, if at all he really proves himself fit. Let's go to the photos that the website of Arsenal went ahead obviously put out as far as Thomas Partey's return was really concerned. And then later, we are going to obviously take you to the entire training session and how it went down at the London Connolly, where Thomas Partey has gone ahead to return back to the first team training. Smash the like button close to 200 times to welcome back Thomas Partey, and we will obviously be excited to see to it that we really get you more of the news. Now that is Thomas Partey looking on, nearing the goal in the training session of Arsenal. Then Thomas Partey sprinting into space or busting into space, obviously reading the run like a book. Then this is Thomas Partey with the ball and trying to really put in a very good effort, and Thomas Partey looking on. So those are the photos of Thomas Partey we've gone ahead to get from the training session archive of Arsenal, and Thomas Partey has been really a revolution. And at this juncture, he will only look like a new signing if at all he keeps himself fit. That is it. If he keeps himself fit, then he'll really look like a new signing for the club of Arsenal. And he has a lot to offer to the side of Arsenal, we all know. And I love the player. But the problem is that he cannot compete with a Declan Rice or a Jorginho who have gone ahead not to obviously be out for like 2 games or 1 game. So he has been out for so long and it's hard to trust him. So it looks like the manager knows what to do for him. And this comes after Thomas Partey welcomed a baby girl with the girlfriend. Is called Jenny Maxson, and they are really happy. And remember when I brought you that video, I told you that it might be a blessing, that this child has gone ahead to obviously come in to unleash the father to the full fitness that Arsenal fans have always gone ahead to quest from him. But looks like Thomas Partey is back. After the return of Thomas Partey, it's really good news, but let's see how the entire side of Arsenal went ahead to train at the London Connolly as they return to obviously do the job after annihilating the side of Crystal Palace by 5-0. And we started off with David Raya. What does that throw of the ball remind you? It reminds me the third goal that David Raya was responsible for the secondary assist when he released Gabriel Jesus immediately. Gabriel Jesus burst into space and found Trossard, and Trossard went ahead to really make it count for the side of Arsenal to make it 3. So, looks like in the training sessions, they are trying to do this a lot, and it's a confirmation that it never came in by mistake. It was something intentional by the side of Arsenal, and I think Pena, the coach, the goalkeeper coach of Arsenal, was like telling him, you need to be doing this immediately. That is David Raya for you. And that is Martinelli having gone ahead to score a brace. It might be the beginning of his season. It might be the beginning of his season. And that season of Gabriel Martinelli is one of those that we have to look at and really see to it that it really resurrects. So if it resurrects, it will be better for them, because I told you that for Arsenal to be competing for the trophy, Martinelli needs to go back to his form of last season. The same applies to Bukayo Saka. And I think it will be just a nature that if one of those switches back to the form he was on, then opponents will lose focus. But right now, they're very easy to be gotten out of the game because they are really not getting the best of the best that they deserve in as far as scoring goals is really concerned. Because nowadays, modern forwards are looked at goals and assists, but Martinelli's goal involvement or contribution has been really low. I think for Bukayo Saka, it has been a little bit good. I think he has like 7 Premier League goals and close to 7 assists in the Premier League. So that's not bad for him. 14 goal involvements, meaning that he's 13 goals away from hitting a double figure in the Premier League. And I think he's going to do it. For Saka, I think he's going to get 20 goals in the Premier League, because time is going to come when he's going to get where he deserves to be as a player. Then the manager smiling on, there is no better way to obviously recommence, your training sessions after beating Crystal Palace by 5-0. It might be a spark of a new agenda this season. Again, the manager looks very jolly and happy because he knows that his players might have gone ahead to click on us according to plan. Kai Havertz smiling, and he's fitting into that Arsenal side like a glove. Then William Saliba pausing at those short goals at the training session of London Conley. Then Thomas Partey, the man himself, that we're going to show you, making a run. This is Odegaard trying to obviously do his usual do's. Then shot number 14, that is Eddie Nketiah, trying to celebrate. Looks like I'm going to hit to score a goal during the training session. Then we are having Eddie Nketiah and Benjamin White. Eddie Nketiah and Benjamin White doing the needful, and it looks like Benjamin White was trying to stop Eddie Nketiah. Defender versus a forward in the training session. Martinelli and Saka look like they're on different sides. Look at the bibs, right? Martinelli was putting on, I think this is which color, and then Saka was in light blue. And these two, as I'm going to let you know that if Arsenal is to really win this Premier League, they need these two to click. That is it. Because Odegaard has shown us that he's clicking. Jesus is okay. But these two are really, 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 really way off. And those goals of Martinelli scored over the weekend, the 2 goals against Crystal Palace, I pray they really get him going. Thomas Partey, obviously doing that. This is Cedric Soares trying to defend Reece Nelson, but it looks like Reece Nelson had already gone ahead to beat him up. And Cedric Soares is one of those players that Arsenal has gone ahead to look at to sell, to raise some money in the January transfer window. Then Thomas Partey looking on. This is Saka, Bukayo, Kai Havertz having a chat with Leandro Trossard. And if I told Mikel Arteta, I start Leandro Trossard and I drop Martinelli again. I want him to do this to Martinelli for like 3 games until they go in the Champions League. Drop him and get him off the bench, because we've all seen that Martinelli off the bench is really very deadly because of his pace, and players have gone ahead to obviously played some minutes and the tiredness kicks in. So it gives him a very good goal to say to it that everything really goes on as to plan. So Trossard for me should be starting and Martinelli should be coming off the bench. If it's going to become the new normal at Arsenal that Martinelli scores off the bench, I think it helps them a lot. than starting him and he does nothing and you get him off. Yet he will obviously benefit the side of Arsenal when he comes off the bench. Kai Havertz, I think, is clicking into that team and trying to get used onto that new role that is playing. The most unhappy man at Arsenal, though he tries to wear a smile, but you see it as plastic, that is Aaron Ramsdale, who looks like his time at Arsenal is going to come to an end, and in the summer, he's going to push to leave the side of Arsenal. That is it. Then Trossard trying to take on William Saliba in the training session, and Trossard is having 7 goals this season. You know, he's one of those players that I could put my hand on to get 20. That is it. I know he's going to come in through and really score more goals because the way he runs into better positions and his quick decision making is really important. You know, when he reaches the 18 yards box area of the opponent, he makes runs of strikers, and he's a clinical guy, very clinical. He rarely misses out on chances created, you know. Then Emily Smith-Rowe, a player that I love to die. This guy is very talented, and he's really one of those that you'll ever come out and really see performing at levels that most people really underestimate. But he's the other player that I'm going to hate to talk about, that if Arsenal is to win the trophy, he needs to get himself back to the levels we know he was at. And how is he going to get there? By getting in more playing minutes. When he gets in more playing time and he clicks, trust me, Arsenal will be having more sources of goals, because it looks like sometimes they're going to hate to really look short of goals that would have gone ahead to win the title. So Emily Smith-Rowe in the mix. Then Odegaard, also, he's one of those that has shown us that for him as well, we're going to hate to click, and the others have to join him. Then this is Edin Ketia running past players and skipping past them in an abnormal way that we've always gonna hate to see him do it. Smith-Rowe looking on. This is Benjamin White, obviously trying to really look on and see what exactly is happening. He's one of those players that I believe shouldn't be the right back of Arsenal. I'm sorry to say if I told you I was gonna hate to offend you, but he shouldn't be the right back of Arsenal. That is because Arsenal deserves a better right back. Gabriel, this is the manager, Mikel Arteta, all smiles, and I told you the reason as to why he's smiling. Everything is going on well. Emily Smith-Rowe trying to pass on a message to his fellow players during the training session, like spreading his hands wide, and had a message to spread over to the side. And him with Aaron Ramsdale trying to obviously have a word 1 or 2. So that's it, and that's all about Thomas Partey returning back in full Arsenal training, and everything is going on as planned. So smash the like button, comment and share. If you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Rokani David is my name. Your reactions to Thomas Partey back in full Arsenal training and is in contention to start or to play against Nottingham Forest. What do you make about that? Rokani David remains my name. I sign out for now. See you later as we cover you all in the precious blood of Jesus Christ, and may the living to God bless you abundantly. Ciao, ciao, my mates.